I had to like realize like it's okay to be sad.
I don't really feel like I've sat down and like processed.
Yeah. I knew your ass was coming back.
Yes, what you did to me wasn't right.
Yeah.
Yes, it sucked, but you weren't meant to be part of my life.
What is going on, you guys? Welcome to Dorman 101 Podcast, a podcast that has everything and nothing to do about college. I'm your girl, Maya Gaines, and of course, I am here with my girl, Victoria, to the right of me this time. She's to the right today. And then we have a guest who is here and back and better than ever, Brianna.
Hey, guys.
You say it the same way every single time.
Oh.
It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying. Like,
Not too much. Not too
Hi.
much.
Now I don't know what to say.
Hi, how are you? But yeah, guys, we are back. Excited to be back. How is everybody doing today? What's the vibes giving? No, you're giving like cooped up.
Sorry, I feel like I just froze just now. No, I'm good. I'm chilling, living life.
Living life to the fullest. Ready to be done with
fullest.
school.
Yes, 100%. I'm ready to come back home. Hampton is still to this day not the greatest place to be in, but you know,
Yeah.
like I said before, gotta get to the money, gotta get to the bag.
Gotta get to the Mayan. Okay. I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like with this time change too, like the time going back or whatever, like I just been like, damn, like I be waking up and it's already like 1, but it's really supposed to be 12.
Yeah, no, I literally low key feel like it. I feel like
Yeah.
I look like it. I look tired.
No, like I'm beat. How are you?
I'm good. I like the change.
You like the time change?
Yeah, because now it's darker later.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
doesn't
that
get
is,
dark
that's the
too
best
fast.
part.
yeah,
yeah.
that is the best part. How's your internship going?
My internship's going great.
How do you like, obviously you can't tell us all the tea, but like, what would
yeah,
you,
yeah. Oh,
how are you like
I haven't
enjoying?
announced it though, like on the pod. Okay. Hey guys,
Hey guys, just to let you know.
just to let you know, I am now interning at Atlantic Records.
Period, bouquet.
Yes.
How do you like it though? Like so
it's
far?
great. I'm learning a lot within like the music industry and
Mhm.
stuff, and it's very different because I'm working with bigger artists now. You know, we
Yeah.
got people like Cardi B. She just dropped today, so
Ew.
Period.
I've been sitting in all those meetings and stuff, and
Oh my
it's
god,
been
isn't
great.
that amazing?
Yeah.
How does it feel? Like you're just like, holy crap.
It feels weird because it's like at first I started off as a fan
Mhm.
and now it's like I'm working for these
Yeah.
people and sitting in on their meetings and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's really cool, like just like the transition and stuff.
Oh my god,
but
have you like fangirled yet? Like, oh my god.
I haven't
Or have you like
fangirled.
I'm good. I could keep
I
my
haven't
composure.
fangirled yet. I think if I were to like sit in a place where like I'm with one of my favorite artists,
Mhm.
stuff, even though like I like the roster that we have
Yeah.
and stuff, but like if it was it was like somebody like Drake and stuff, I'd be like, oh, like, but I haven't fangirled yet, but it's cool. It's definitely cool because I get to like put my input too and like, give
That's
ideas
amazing.
as well
Yeah.
for these artists. Like we have like A Boogie. Like A
Yeah.
Boogie, he's the king of New York. Like,
Yeah.
like
my
he's staple of New
gosh.
York. So it's really cool like getting to work on like projects for him as well.
Oh my god.
Congrats.
No,
That's
for
a
real.
big deal.
That's huge. Like to get a label, like
Yeah.
I imagine how many applicants there were,
yeah,
Like-
it was definitely like a goal of mine, like to
Mhm.
work like with the label. And I just been waiting for it, and it
Wow.
finally happened. So I'm here. I literally went from a
Period.
fan to now working for artists.
We're working for a label, period. And now
Yes.
she gonna be like, so where are we going today?
Right.
Like album release? Yeah, I'm so down. Like, no, for real. But how? I guess I do have a question because I feel like I'm not like I don't have a broken heart or anything like that, y'all. Like, cause I'm not really out here. But how do you guys deal with like the healing stages of having a broken heart? And that can mean really anything, but like for me, I feel like, damn, this sounds like really like not bad, but like, for example, obviously my father has passed. Ooh, we all sorry.
Woohoo, Maya.
Sorry, it's dark humor. I'm so sorry.
Mhm.
But obviously, like for me, my broken heart and like how I've been trying to heal, obviously, is from like my dad. Like, yeah, I've had a broken heart from like a relationship or whatever. But for me, I feel like my healing stage right now is definitely my father trying to like figure out how to cope, I guess, not having him around. I think my biggest issue right now is like when I get married, when I have kids, like when the whole like, him asking my dad for my hand in marriage, like I want to marry your daughter, like that's
Yeah.
not gonna
Those
happen.
milestones.
So like those like really big like points in my life that obviously like I wish I had my dad for, obviously it's not gonna happen. So that's what I'm healing from. Like that's my healing stage. What do you guys think you guys are like healing from right now?
That's an interesting perspective, like that it doesn't have to specifically be a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yes.
Because I feel like even in like friendships, like I've recently just been going through something with my friends, and it's been a lot. Like I feel like I'm an emotional person,
Yeah.
and sometimes my emotions do get the best of me. And when you're dealing with a heartbreak or even just, emotional distress between you and another person,
Yeah.
like it can be detrimental to your mental health. But I feel like lately, I don't know what to say, but like not that long ago, like a couple months ago, I would say like,
Yeah.
in terms of a guy, like, yeah, I had a little breakup, whatever. But I feel like since then, like I've really just been like coming into my own. Like I don't have any regrets with what I did because at the end of the day, it was what was best for me.
Yeah.
Um, but it is also still like one of those like it is what it is. Like you just have to kind of like move on and figure
Yeah.
things out for yourself of what do you want to do next. Reflecting on that relationship because it's good to look at like
Yeah.
maybe what did I do and what do I want to change, not
Yeah.
necessarily just blaming the other person. But I feel like in terms of like healing, it's really just you learning more about yourself and like what you want in your life because
Yeah.
obviously now you're learning what you don't like and what you do like and what do you expect from the other person,
Yeah.
regardless if it's just you with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or even a friend or stuff like that. So
Yeah. Victoria.
What am I healing from? Okay. I think the last time, like I guess you could say I had a heartbreak was the same thing as Brianna. I had a guy in my life
Mhm.
and, had a heartbreak. Happened like last year.
Mhm.
That was something that I was healing from. But something that Brianna said, which I really like this stuff, is like about like life going on and stuff,
Yeah.
like and not necessarily like it doesn't always have to be someone that you're romantically involved with
Yeah.
that is a heartbreak. It could be your friends, it could be a family member that
Yeah.
passed away, it could be a boy, it could be anything, but like I think in that process of whether it's any of one of those, you have to not let yourself like die.
Mm.
Yeah.
If in that sense, like, life does go on,
Yeah.
unfortunately, whatever it is, and you have to let yourself like not stay stuck there.
Yeah.
And, like figure out life after that.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what's so crazy? Because I feel like with you saying like being stuck there, I definitely feel stuck. I feel like I haven't had the time, and I talk to Brianna about this all the time, and I think I tell you all the time, like I don't really feel like I've sat down and like processed
Yeah.
the entire like, because literally like when I tell you, and I feel like people don't understand, like I've been on go mode. Like graduation happened, my brother got married, I started my job, like like there was no time to like breathe. Like there was just no time. It was like everything happened so fast. Like I graduated, I moved, brother, like everything happened so fast that it was just like, oh my God, like I didn't process it. And there's times where like I've caught myself almost calling my dad to be like, oh, like, and you can't do it. And then that's when like I have to really sit down and try to come to a realization like, oh shoot, like he's not here. Like, and I feel like that's when like things start to like come up. And of course, like therapy is a thing. Like people like go to therapy, but like I want to go, but also I'm like, what can a therapist do for me that in a sense I can't do for myself? Like what are they supposed to tell me that's gonna make me feel better, or like, and I feel like that just goes with anything. Like, and I tell people with being in my 20s, like that's something that I'm still struggling with, is just trying to figure out like, what am I doing? It seems like everybody, especially on the internet, loves to say like, oh, just have fun, or your 20s are for you to make mistakes and stuff. It is not that easy.
Yeah.
Like it is not that easy to just be like, just like go have fun, go make the mistakes. Like, I mean, yeah, but like I really don't want to. Like I want things to go a certain way. I want it to look a certain way. But obviously, like, things have to happen in order for things to turn out the way they need to turn out. So I don't know. I therapy is something that I am looking into, and I want to like use that as a part of my like healing process.
Yeah.
But I've also come to like using the Bible and like talking to God, like
Yeah.
watching church. So I guess like that's where I'm at, is just really, hopefully one day I can really sit down and process my dad's passing, because I still feel like I haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, for
Yeah,
sure.
and I feel like that's one of the major parts of like when you are going through the healing process, like you have to be able to just sit down
Hmm.
and let yourself feel.
Yeah.
Because if you feel, then you don't heal.
Period.
But
That
yeah,
was
you
a
just
good- that was good, that was
you
good.
literally just have to like let your emotions sometimes take over you.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you do need to cry it out. Sometimes
Yeah.
you do need to, if you're angry about it, then you're angry about it. Like
Mhm.
that's completely fine. Those feelings are valid. Like
Yeah.
there's no right way, like, or a step by step of like how to heal.
Yeah.
Everybody's healing process is different. And even like you said, some people go to therapy.
Yeah.
Some people don't go to therapy. Somebody may, like you, seek God, seek
Yeah.
Jesus, like there's different ways to heal. But I feel like one of the like main focuses that you should be, kind of putting yourself in is just processing your emotions.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you still like, one, you're holding on to all the stuff that has happened before.
Yeah.
And that's when stuff can kind of like fester into other parts of your life. You know what I mean? Like your relationships with other people, your job, like
Yeah.
certain things like that. So I feel like me personally, when I did go through like my breakup or whatever, like I had to like realize like it's okay to be sad.
Mhm.
Like it's okay to feel shitty. Like,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, as long as I know that I'll be able to get out of this like rut or me being stuck,
Yeah.
like that's just the end goal. But it's okay. I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, like you can't be stuck for so long. Like you
Yeah.
need to get out of the bed. Like, come on, Brianna, like get up. But I'm just like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I want to be rotting in my bed for the next 24 hours. I want to
Mhm.
scroll on TikTok all day.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat. I don't want to do the things that
Yeah.
you want me to do.
Yeah.
I need to do what I need to do. And if that's sitting here rotting all day, then that's what it is. But as long as I know, or for yourself, that you're
Mhm.
going to be able to get back up and be much stronger than you were before, then that's all that matters. But yeah, feel your emotions, because it's easy for me because I'm emotional, but
Yeah.
feel your emotions,
Yeah, I think as for like that part too, like even like with you saying like, oh, like sometimes you're like, well, like I don't want to like get up sometimes, like,
Yeah.
like I think you definitely do have to process your emotions and stuff, but it's also important not to stay stuck there
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Like you don't want to stay in that funk all the time because
Yeah.
eventually you have to get up.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I think it's really hard because I've seen a lot of things, and I commend everybody who can do it. Is like, you might have you can fall, but as long as you get up
Yeah.
from it, or like you don't give up, that's always a good thing. If you can fall and like cry about it, do whatever you gotta do, but you get back up, that's always a sign that like you are stronger than you think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because if you can actually get out of it, you've made a turn already.
Yeah.
So like, personally, I just think for anybody that is going through like a funk and stuff, because even like I guess my breakup, like, it was a long time, 4 years, 5, whatever, 4 years, we're gonna say 4. 4 years is a long time
Yeah.
to be with one person.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy crap, like this is the only person I've ever known. This is the only person, like, this is literally the only person. And then, to feel like you're fighting for something somebody else doesn't want,
Yeah.
it's like, damn, like you feel like you wasted your time.
Yeah.
And then and I feel like for a lot of girls, we end up going to the gym. Like, that seems to be like one of the things that girls do, like after a breakup, whatever. It's like, okay, like I gotta figure shit out. Like, I feel like that's also how we were kind of raised, or like made, is like, we just gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm gonna just go to the gym, and that's what I ended up doing. Like, that was when it came to the breakup, like that was my first instinct. I was like, you know what? Everybody talks about the gym. I'm gonna try it out. And I went, and I freaking fell in love with the gym, and I've really been going ever since. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
And
gonna
it's
lie.
something that's for yourself too.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
so like I think especially when it's something that's contributing to yourself,
Mhm.
like find that and really just go hard with it
Yeah.
because in reality when you have those breakups and you have those heartbreaks and stuff, that's all you have. You have
Yeah.
yourself.
Self,
Self.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the best thing you can do is put into
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like I think for me, like after my like situation and stuff, I had opportunities that came my way
Yeah.
after everything that happened, and I took that and I ran with it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put in the work, and putting in that work made me kind of like forget
Yeah.
at times about what
Mhm.
happened and stuff. Obviously there'll be times where I get into my bag and I'm hurt or whatever,
Yeah.
but a lot of the time my mind was what I was working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. Cause even like I be telling people like the gym is such a mental like a scapegoat. Like the gym is cool. Like I enjoy like working out, lifting heavy, but like you put on those headphones, for me, like my mind goes elsewhere. Like I know that I'm working out, but like I'm just like my brain is just somewhere else. Like it's just I don't know, it's just like a mute button to the world. Like
Yeah.
there was like a video of this girl and she literally was in the gym and there was like people talking like around her and she put the headphones on and it kind of just like muted everything.
Mm.
And that's literally how I feel when I go work out. Like everything just like everything that like was heightening me at the moment just tends to like go away.
Yeah.
Just boop boop boop. Like I just turned the radio off and I just sat in silence. That's literally how it feels.
Yeah.
for
And
me.
you just doing that is literally you pouring into your own cup.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you do have to just like tune other
Yeah.
things out. Like even like I'll say like when it usually comes to guys, I feel like I end up having to like lean into my friends. That's like I feel
Mhm.
like they fulfill sometimes pieces that that may
Yeah.
have been broken or whatever. But more recently I feel like I've been basking in my solitude,
Mhm.
like being by myself, doing things for myself, and just being alone, like knowing that, like you said, you have you at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and that you're your number one like support system, and just being able to like just bask in that loneliness, which sounds crazy, but it really
Bro,
actually
loneliness is actually not a bad thing, bro.
it's not.
It's not a bad
It's okay
thing.
to
Yeah.
like take the space that you need from other people. I feel like as long as like you're communicating if need be or whatever, like, but you can take time for yourself and it not be like a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just really do need to distance yourself because sometimes, man, my funks, they be funky. I be like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I hate my life. I hate
Yeah.
it here. But then it's just like I need to do things for myself. I need to take
Yeah.
myself on a date. I need to
Yeah.
go just take myself to the mall. Do a little retail therapy. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with just like being alone. And then like obviously you still have your friends at the end of the
Yeah.
day who can come in and do all the things that you need them to do in terms of supporting your emotional and your physical whatever. But yeah, basking in your loneliness, like just being okay with being in solitude
Yeah.
Mhm.
is, I feel like, another thing
Yeah.
that is okay in a time of healing.
Yeah. I like being in my own space. Like even when I was in college and I had my own apartment, like everybody was like, "Oh, trust me, you get your own apartment, you're gonna like want people over, blah blah
Hell
blah."
no.
And there was times like, yeah, it was cool to have people
Mhm.
over, but like I got my own apartment and it was like it wasn't even, oh, let me go out hang out with my friends. I'm getting in my car and I'm going back to the crib and I'm getting in my
Yeah.
bed. Like it just was so calming, it was so soothing because I knew this was my safe space.
Yeah.
And like that was something that I really enjoyed. And I think like even now, like obviously living with my family and stuff, it's like it still feels like a safe space, but like I was just so used to being like literally by myself. And all my roommates had different schedules. So like we were really not bumping into each other like that and
Mhm.
things of that nature. Like everybody had their own lives, their own schedule, whatever, which we still do in the house. But I feel like when you're around people a lot, for me personally, like it just becomes a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
And it's like I see you every day. I see you all the time. Like
It
I
becomes
even
overwhelming.
yeah, it gets very overwhelming. Like me and Brianna, like give me and Brianna, like if I'm with Brianna for 2 weeks straight and we sleep in the same bed, straight to absolutely not. Can't happen. Cannot. Like even when she was here, like I was like, all right, bitch, like you gotta go.
No,
go
because we
upstairs.
literally bicker like we're like little children. It's like, all right, bro.
I'm like, bro. Like, even today, like, she was like, oh, my hair. I was like, you're being dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, relax. You're being dramatic. No, I'm not. My hair's fine. Like, even things like that. Like, sometimes you do, like, we can be on the same roof, but as long as it's like, you can be over there or whatever. And I know that I have funks bad, like, real
They
bad.
be
Like,
funky.
they be bad.
They
Like,
be
ooh.
funky.
Like,
Be
I know they
funky.
be bad. And I can say to myself, like, I need to, work on that, obviously. But I also need people around me to work with me
Yeah.
for that. Like, sometimes I know that I say, like, oh, I want to be alone. I want to be myself. Don't worry. Like, don't talk to me. But there's times where, like, it's okay for you to come to me and be like, hey, Maya, like, you've been acting a little funky, a little too long than usual. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
And half of the time, I'll speak about it or whatever. If it's longer than 3 days, something is absolutely wrong. Like, usually I should not last more than 3 days. If it's longer than
Yeah.
that, somebody messed my life completely up. Somebody took my credit card. Like, somebody
Yeah.
did.
I took my credit card.
Somebody did something so
Yeah.
baffled that I literally can't even revert back. So, all in all, I just feel like if I'm in my alone space and stuff, and like it just seems like it's dragging a little too long, and I become like more and more irritated than coming down. Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What's wrong? Like, that's just something that I just want people to work on, especially with me personally. Like, and God give to whoever dates me, because listen, I can communicate. I can tell you what I don't like, what I do like, whatever the case may be, and I hope that somebody could do it right back. Like, I don't like when you do this, don't like when you do that, because we can work on that. But, and you got to deal with these mood swings, because these mood swings is
Funky.
crazy. They is bad. But, I don't know. All in all, it is what it is. Like, but I did have another question, because we were talking about relationships and dating.
Mhm.
And I think before we talked about, like, no contact. So, like, just an if, right? Obviously, we're going through healing, whatever. We don't want to break no contact. But what if he breaks the no contact?
Oh.
How are we feeling about that? If, like, you're like, I'm done, like, it's no contact, but he breaks no contact?
How long has it been?
Almost that, like, when he's finally like, a year.
A year?
Yeah, about a year. He finally breaks no contact. He's like, hey, I low-key miss, like, I want to see, like, I miss you, like, I've been thinking about us,
Damn.
type beat.
The first kind of moment, I'm gonna be like a little shocked. And then I'm looking on
I ain't
like,
gonna lie, I'd be a little
I'm
hype.
like, period. I knew your ass was coming back. But then I would just have to sit there and be like, hold on. Because you wasn't shit the first time and you saying all this, are you gonna do it again?
Mm-hmm.
But I think first off initial like reaction, I would be shocked. And then I would be like,
Giddy.
yeah, I'm like, oh shit, period. And then after that, I would be like, all right, bro, like,
The 3 stages right there.
no, literally come back down take the ego down a little bit and remember like what he really did or
You
what she
remember
really
me?
did to you at the end of the day.
What would you do?
I feel like I've been in a time where, like, during my healing process, I
Mhm.
really healed.
Okay.
So I feel like it was definitely something that triggered me.
Yeah.
But because of the way I took my healing process and
Mhm.
everything, I feel like I'm at a point where if the person were to come back,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say like they're like, oh, I miss you or whatever and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's great, but I've moved on.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like I'm also in a place where I'm like, I could forgive the person.
Yeah.
And it's like,
wow, you're.
yeah, because I just feel like, yes, what you did to me wasn't right.
Yeah.
Yes, it sucked, but you weren't meant to be part of my life.
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
it's
preach,
like,
preach.
if you wanna be a better person, you want to change. Like, I pray for you. Like,
Yeah.
I pray that you become a better person and
Yeah.
stuff. But you weren't meant to be part of my life,
Yeah.
and life goes on, and we're on 2 different paths.
Yeah.
Like God has a different journey for you. He has a different
Yeah.
person for you, and if that's what he has for you, that's what he has
Mhm.
for you. And our story is done, and it's okay to forgive. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I forgive you, but
Yeah.
our story has ended, and there's no going back.
Damn, that sounds really good. But I don't know, me knowing that I've had a moment like that, and like I know he's broken no contact, and like I get this long drawn out message that I actually gotta like
Mhm.
read, and it's very thought out. Like you thought about sending this 2-page paragraph to me, and I'm like, let's see. Like I've done that where I'm like, okay, like we can go out, and you could just feel like like for me personally, like I felt the vibe of like, yeah, this is just still like it's still not there.
Yeah.
Like obviously you hope that like
Mhm.
oh like we
He's
see each other again and
changed.
it's
Things are
you know
different.
things are
Yeah.
different, but you go into it and you realize like yeah, this is not like it for me. Like I've had that moment where like I feel like God's shown me like I've talked about it where I'm like, you know, like God's gonna tell me when a guy's supposed to come in my life. But I
Mhm.
also always remember that the devil also hears my prayers as well, especially when I speak out loud.
Mhm.
Yes.
So if I'm over here talking about, you know, oh like God's gonna bring me a man when like he's ready. Guess what? The devil's gonna bring one too.
Yes.
When he as soon as I said, oh, bet.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I'm not gonna worry about. I'm not gonna talk to no man. Blah blah blah. And that's how this recent one happened or whatever in the past or whatever. And in my head, I was like, oh God, okay, like period. And I was
Mhm.
like, then you think back, you're like, that was way too fast. I said that prayer 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Like, and he, you know, and you think about it, and then you see like, hey, like I'm not the only one who could hear you.
Mhm.
Like, and I feel like for me, that's when I know like when it's obviously people are saying when you least expect it, that's when it'll happen.
Mhm.
And I feel like even though I said I didn't expect it, I expected it. Like, you know, in the back of
Yeah.
your head, you're like, hopefully one day, like
Mhm.
soon, like looking at this, you know. So that's kind of how I was. I was very like, you never know. And then he came, and I was like, bet, like. But all in all, I was like, I think it was just a test for me to be like, listen, like you need to chill out. Just because he says you look good or you're cute or you're this or you're that does not mean like things are gonna work the way you think it is.
Yeah.
And me and God got like a little code together. So if you know that code gets said or talked about, I know it's from him. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. I'm just like, the no contact is cool, but I definitely think I would be giddy at first. Like I would be like, period.
Yeah.
I'm that chick.
Now that I
Period.
think about it,
Mhm.
I feel like in the past with like different people, like I have kind of given them the benefit of the doubt of like things are gonna be different. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let me see what they're talking about now, and then obviously at that point,
Yeah.
afterwards, I can reflect and like realize like this wasn't meant for me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad that this happened the way it did because
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just like
But women are very nurturing too. I feel like we
Yeah.
always want to like.
It takes time to get
here.
there.
Yeah, it definitely takes time to get there for
Mhm.
sure.
yeah,
Like,
and then
Like-
also sorry.
Go
Also,
ahead.
sometimes us women, I'm gonna say it, we're delusional.
Oh, real delulu.
Delulu.
We like to be delusional,
Real
like
delulu.
living in our own fantasy, like. But then we also kind of have to, you know, after things happen
Yeah.
or whatever, like it's a lesson, and we realize, like, damn,
yeah,
saved by
the grace
saved
of
by the
God.
bell,
Right.
Yeah.
dodged a bullet.
Yeah. I
Weed,
think.
bobbing and weed.
Yeah, I think even for me too, like there was a part of time where like because I was delulu in certain areas, I'm like I kind of blamed myself too because it
Yeah.
was like okay, like I'm blaming this person, I'm so mad at this person, but I'm also blaming myself. So it's like
Yeah.
also learning to forgive that person, but also learning to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, like we have to learn one way or another.
Mhm.
Like people talk about even like the revolving door of you feel like you keep going through the same thing. You might have to say no one day.
Yeah.
You literally might have to be like, you know what? No. And that's obviously something you did. It's like, even if he came back, I'm good. You get yourself out of that revolving door of being tested and tempted to be like, oh no, like let me put the tip of my finger in there just to see if it's still hot, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important for people in general if you're going through the healing phase, and this is even for myself, like it is very tempting to want to know what could have been,
Yeah.
but also realizing what has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what has happened was done, and if it could have or if it would have happened, you would know that.
Yeah.
Just like if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah. Which means to me that that's like you reflecting.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another part of like, okay, looking back at what you
Yeah.
have been through, and then like not just blaming them, but also saying like, what was my part in it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, what did I do? But
Yeah.
not necessarily taking that blame and being like, oh, it was all me,
Me,
blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
blah. Like,
Yeah.
the other person could be completely shitty,
Yeah.
but also, oh, excuse me. You have to like realize for yourself, like, dang, maybe I did do this wrong,
Mhm.
or I didn't do this. I did this right.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think you have to kind of like give yourself the grace and just like look back on the past, obviously forgive, but not, well, I say forgive, not forget. But just take the time to like reflect and be like, this is what happened. What did I learn from it? How am I going to move forward? And like, what am I going to do differently for myself
Yeah.
going into my friendships, my
Yeah.
relationships with other people,
Yeah.
and even yourself? Because
What would be the last question before we like end? What would be something like, obviously with things that you've been through in the past with like previous guys or whatever the case may be, and like let's say a new guy does come, what is one thing you would say you like from your healing and stuff like what's one thing you are not tolerating, like where it's like it's not about like, oh, I give you one chance, I give you two chance, like it's one strike and you're out, like what would be that one thing that you're like, no, I'm good?
invalidating my feelings,
Mm.
because what it might not be a big deal to you, but if I didn't want to bring it up, or if I didn't feel like it was an issue, then I wouldn't have brought it up at all.
Yeah.
So for you to immediately tell me what I just said is like not valid,
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter, like this is what I said and this is how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Because a relationship is a two-way street.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if the roles were reversed, you wouldn't like how I, like, I'm
Yeah.
treating you. So I think for me, 100%, it would have to be if you immediately be like, oh, it's not that deep. No, wait, hold on. Because I was almost going to say the word again. No, it is deep. Like, who are you to tell me that my feelings aren't, like, I can't feel the way I feel?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe, later on I'll realize, oh, I was being a little bit dramatic. But that's
But
when
let
I
me-
come
yeah,
to
yeah,
you and I'm like, listen,
yeah.
like, this is what I realized I was wrong, whatever. That's where communication goes.
Yeah.
But straight off the bat, if somebody ever tells me it's not that deep, get over it. Like, you're done. You're done.
What's yours, Victoria?
A little similar to hers. Gaslighting. Don't make me feel like I'm crazy. You know
Yeah.
what you did. I'm not crazy. We both know. Don't try
Yeah.
to make me feel like I'm crazy. And then it comes to find out that I was never crazy and you
Yeah.
actually did what you did.
Did.
No,
yeah.
literally.
Ooh.
And you could be sometimes you feel like
Yeah.
you're being gaslit. I'm like, side
Right.
eye. Like, I did not say that. What are you talking about?
bro.
God, y'all,
Yo,
gaslighting is dangerous.
it's so
Yes.
bad. I think mine. I'm trying to think of like emotional wise. I think definitely being like invalidated.
Yeah.
But I also think like my biggest one is changing the way you act in front of your friends.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's something I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Don't treat me like I'm like some side piece when you was just hugged up, cuddled up, feet kicking in the back, like when you was laying down with me. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, because I got a picture. Don't do that.
So you was blowing kisses on the
Facts.
phone.
You was blowing kisses on FaceTime talking about, mwah. Don't do that.
No, literally.
So, and I have the live screen, so I can
Not
press
the live.
it and it'll go
I'm
through.
so dead.
So, but that was kind of funny. But yeah, don't treat me different in front of your friends, because at the end of the day, like, I treat your friends with respect, around my friends or whatever. I know my friends will do it.
Yeah.
So don't like the whole like not introducing me type of thing. Like, we're walking somewhere or whatever, we're hanging out with your friends and you're not like, you literally don't even say my name, like nothing, and it's just like, oh, she's just here. Like, absolutely not. So yeah, just like not, I'm here, hello. You was kicking your feet today, sorry. Like, come on now. But yeah, that's definitely something that I'd be like, like, I don't like that. Like, introduce me, like, hey, this is my, like, it don't have to be, this is my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But like, be respectful. Like, if I'm out with you or whatever, we see your friends. Simple. Because now I think you're a cheater. Simple.
Yeah.
Like, now I think they know that you got girl A, girl B, and girl C.
Or you're just not being yourself. Like,
Yeah.
what's good with you?
Like, you think, like, what's up? What's going on?
What
Like, what's
you
wrong? Like, what's wrong, stink butt?
Bye.
Like,
What's wrong,
like,
Stink Stink?
what's wrong? What happened? But yeah, that's definitely one of mine. And I feel like my 3 pieces of advice for like healing or like just being in like a situation where you're like, damn, like I really don't know what to do. Um, Date yourself. But also like listen, therapy is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Your journal is not a bad thing. Going into your spiritual bag is not a bad thing because you'll find a lot more answers within yourself than talking to be honest, at least for me, talking to like a friend or talking to somebody who's really never been in that situation that you've been in, things of that nature. Like people are always gonna have their opinion about things that you're going through, like, oh, you should never talk to him or you need to break up. Like somebody's always gonna have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if you really sit down with yourself and be like, let me just journal, let me just write my feelings out, you can always look back and be like, wow, like we did that.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I literally, that was like one of my main goals for this year, like to journal.
Yeah.
Because I've always constantly like, wrote a little note on my phone or like
Mhm.
I tried to journal, but I just never stayed consistent. And like I've been journaling every single day since January 1st. And like even just going back and like reading like
Mhm.
even like the funny days or like the sad days, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, like I'm growing. Like
Yeah. And to see
I'm
it.
becoming who I am as a person, and it's like it's really nice to see like the growth and the progress you're making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So journaling, 100%.
Yeah, I definitely I could agree on that too because I have like a journal and I look back on it now like wow, like that's what I was feeling back then.
Yeah.
And then even like too like me like stepping into my faith and stuff, like I would put a verse with what I'm feeling and
Mhm.
something to uplift me and stuff.
Yeah.
So like getting into like the Bible too and studying
Yeah.
my Bible and that helped me.
Yeah. I definitely think that healing is a long process and stop putting a time on like, oh, I need to be good by January 2025. That's like saying you're going to be in the gym in the new year and it don't happen. Like, let's be honest. Healing takes a very long time. It's a long process and it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
So like I really need people to understand that like, as you are getting into this feeling of like, oh, I don't know what to do or like how do I heal? Honestly, the first thing I would say is talk to yourself. Like
yeah.
people be like, "Oh, you sound crazy." No, like get a book and write or do a voice memo. I used to do voice memos and I have
Mhm.
one of me bawling out crying trying to talk to my phone. Literally, I was bawling. I have a video in my phone too.
I'm like, do I laugh or do I
I
laughter or
like I literally have a video of me literally crying, like telling myself like I'm making this video, like it's gonna be okay. I said the date. Like I have videos like that in my phone.
Yeah.
And to look back and be like, and it was over a boy. Like it was where I was in my life, a boy, my dad. Like it was just so much, and it was like you're gonna be fine. Where you are now is not where you're gonna be in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
So like you said, just to see the growth, 10 out of 10 recommend. So
Yeah. Pouring into your own cup.
yeah.
And I would say 100% feel your emotions. Like, just go what you need to go through. Like, you shouldn't have to have anybody else tell you, like, how to feel or what you should be doing, like, because they're not in your situation. So it's like, and everybody is different. So, like I said earlier, like, your healing process may not be the same as mine. And I will also say, like, don't, like, blame yourself because I
Yeah.
feel like it's easy to do that. Some people are just, I feel like I've said it already, but some people are just genuinely like shitty. Like they don't, they don't have their lives together,
Yeah.
and it just becomes a projection. And like
Yeah.
you're just this person that like
They can do it
it was
too.
taken out on.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to genuinely like be like, look, it wasn't me because I was doing this like wholeheartedly. I was loving this person wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So I just feel like giving yourself that grace
Mm.
is
Yeah.
a main thing when it comes to healing because as you should. Like I wasn't at fault all the time.
Yeah.
And like I can be emotional about it and do what I need to do, but I just know that like you said, I'm going to be able to bounce back
Mm-hmm.
and do what I need to do at the end of the day to make myself feel good. And even like I feel like a lot of people also they think like, oh, the quickest way to get over somebody is to get under somebody. Like you need to be, I don't know, hoeing around or something, which is not true. But I feel like also it doesn't have to be that. It can be, oh, I'm going to go out on a date. Somebody has shown their interest. I'm going to go on a date with somebody else and just like allowing yourself to be open to, other people. Because there are going to be times, yes, where people trigger you and you're like, you don't know where it comes from. And then you kind of sit with yourself and be like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's from this past. That's from this relationship. but you just have to also be open, I think, to other people and other things. Yeah, I feel
Period.
like I said a lot.
Sounds good.
I would say for anyone that's going through the healing process or going through a breakup, accept things for what they are,
Yeah.
and you don't have to become an angry and bitter person about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think even what Brianna was saying, like having grace with it, walking away gracefully, like
Mhm.
you don't want to become into a nasty person because of what somebody did to you.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
spiteful and stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just adding another human being into this world that's just,
Rude.
not adding,
Yeah.
value.
life,
Value.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like you're gonna become the person that hurts you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, why do
Oof.
that? So you don't have to become angry. You don't have to
Yeah.
become bitter. Like, just understand that it was what it was. You accept it and you move on from it and you grow from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very true. Damn, that was good, y'all. I like that. I like that. But yeah, for anybody that is going through your healing stage, whatever that healing stage consists of, there's a lot of things you can do, and I think the first thing is filling into your cup, like Brianna said, like fill into you, do what you need to do, because at the end of the day, guess who go in that grave? You. Ain't nobody going in there. No.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like you die alone, like you literally are by yourself.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's true.
But like you do like you're alone at the end of the day, like
That person ain't going with you.
yeah, like nobody's going with you at the end of the day. So I mean, fill your cup, do what you need to do for you first, because at the end of the day, even though yeah, we do have family, we do have friends, when you go to sleep at night, it is only you. It's like that's just it. It's just you at the end of the day, and you need to be able to know that you're worth it. At the end of the day, nobody should have to tell you your worth. You need to know that within yourself to be able to, move forward with like other people and things of like that nature. So that's what I'm learning about myself.
I gotta put me first, Lucius.
I
gotta put me first.
I gotta put me first. But yeah, guys, thank you again for watching Dorm 101 Podcast, a podcast that has everything and nothing to do about college. Once again, I'm your girl, Maya Gittens. And of course, I am here with Victoria and Brianna. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I probably never say that in every episode, but when I do, I make sure you do it. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, good rest of your night, and we will see you guys in our next episode. Bye.
Bye.